All right, hello everyone. We're back and continuing on the next episode. And this episode, it's gonna be a depressing one. I'm gonna try and talk about what has happened to me over this last 2 years, ever since basically BFA started, and how my life got turned upside down, and how things just sometimes I just feel like poop and depressed, and I feel like I'm never going to get any better unless, I get help and not hurt the people who I love around me, because I lost someone very important to me because of this, and I'm going to talk about it. Okay, there we go. And she's very important to me. She's someone who I, okay. Anyways, whoa. Hello, Warlock. She's, someone who means a lot to me. And, I talked to her recently, and I've probably felt like I should have. But anyways, we'll, for name's sakes, we won't mention their names. Not fair for me to break someone's privacy like that. Where do I start? So I say about 2 years ago in 2018, April of 2018, I discovered a ex-girlfriend of mine who I dated for about 10 years. So I dated for about I got talents. We dated for about 10 years, and I don't even have RIP yet, do I? Interesting. I'm gonna use that. Who I dated for about 10 years, like basically since the end of from the beginning of high school till like the 26 years old. Basically 16 to send help. Basically, wait. Oh no, I'm distracted. Anyways, basically from 2016 to yeah, I dated her since high school till now, or till not now, till 2016. 2 years ago, and it was a bit of a rough time because I knew something was wrong between us for a year or two, and I just let the bad stuff keep happening, and this person isn't here. Crap. What happened here? I think he's in another spot. I think he's supposed to be back at that house. Do we got a bug quest? Maybe he's supposed to be back at the other house. He was supposed to show up at that other house. Oh, maybe that's what happened. The Legion artifact. Anyways, I can't get distracted. So, I dated this girl for 10 years. He was probably I thought she was the best girl ever, because I was like, wow, someone actually stuck with me for 10 years. And, it was getting around that time where it was like, we've been together since high school, and I'm really happy with you, and you're really happy with me, as I said.
Hello.
And
see you around.
And yeah, and so I said all that, and she wanted to go to college, and I wanted to support her after I had finished, and I had a job that was paying pretty decent money, and so I decided to help pay for it, because again, a lot of people help me pay for my college, and my family helped me pay for my college, and so I decided that I wanted to help other people pay for their college. My girlfriend, because hello, you're back. At the time, she deserved it, right? She was someone who supported me through college, and I wanted to support her through college by being there for her and taking care of her. But she wanted to go to college that was far away, and it would have been it'd have been a long distance relationship, and I don't do well in long distance relationships. I never really did. Because I've dated like two or three people in my life, and I've dated 3 people in my life, and 2 of the 3 were long distance, or 2 of the 3 were, you know, they lived within 20 minutes of me. If I wanted to see them, I could see them. And so, you know, and my 3rd relationship that I had, which I lost quite back in February this year, I felt like I was struggling with a long distance relationship, and I was looking to find a place to live near her, so that way I could have her come move in with me. We lived together on our own without having our parents around, and because we were both adults, you know, we were both 22, 23, and I was really trying to push for that. And I just had such a good job in where I live, and I had such a good job where I lived. I didn't want to like maybe find a lesser job, but would have been worth it probably. But I told her, I was like, this job pays nice. I'm gonna stay here and support you, and anytime I have time off, I'll come see her. And I did do that as many times as like. And then one time, one year, she left for college. I sent her off. I took her up there, and I spent the night. I got a hotel, and I spent some time with her. I spent the night there. Sent her off. Really sad. This was the last time I would have ever been happy with that person. And then, you know, 2-3 months later, April rolls around, and I'm thinking of surprising her with, you know, something, you know, something that's shiny and a lot of people wish they had the luck of doing, you know. I guess marriage would be it. Like, a lot of people around me were getting married, and I thought, you know, there's someone who I loved very much at that time. I wanted to keep it up with her. Granted, she wasn't like a big video game player or anything like that, but that didn't matter to me. Just what mattered to me was spending some time with me, and she would try every once in a while to play video games, but it frustrated her, and I always found it funny, and, you know, I'd always kind of laugh and chuckle, but I always, you know, tried to help her out. But yeah, so eventually I learned that, like, from her roommate, who I became good friends with, she told me that, like, she's been bringing guys over, and she's pretty sure that she's been sleeping with them and stuff like that. And I kind of figured that because, like, for a while there, we weren't really talking, and it felt like we were starting to grow distant, and it felt that way to me. But I denied it, and I went through many months of abuse from her. Many months. Oh, for like a year. Like, it started in 2015 when I felt like we started growing distant. We weren't talking to each other on the phone. The only time she would really call me is when she, you know, how do I say that? She wanted to have a good time. You know, she wanted to have a little bit of fun with me, you know, something that couples do, right? And and so, and for about a year, I kind of think was like, so this seems like the only time she called me is when she had too much to drink and accidentally called me, or when well, she'd call me the next morning and apologize to me and say that, no, I don't mean that. I don't mean to call you when I'm drunk. I just feel bad. Now, me as a person, I stopped drinking a long time ago. I don't like this stuff. I hate it. It's gross. It tastes like shit, and it makes me feel like shit. I don't drink or eat stuff that makes me that looks gross or just tastes like shit. I don't do that anymore. I've never done that. Well, not true. I used to drink all the time, but I don't anymore. But this was like a long time ago. This was 10 years ago. Well, yeah, it'd be 10 years ago now. Because I stopped drinking. I did it 2 years in high school, and I said no. In college. I've just like flat out said no. I'm good.
Good day to you.
Hello. Doing cool.
Have a good one.
So anyway, so from 2015 to 2016, I would have a couple fights with her, and it wouldn't be anything bad. It would just be like accusing her of cheating on me and stuff like that, because it just felt that way, and she just assumed I instantly thought she was guilty. I was like, no, I just feel like that's not what, just doesn't feel right. Like, it doesn't feel like you love me anymore, and you're just using me for the money to get through school. And you know, obviously she denied it and stuff like that, and I believed it because I'm a sucker, and I loved her and I didn't want to be alone. You know, it's more of I mentally abused myself, and it turned out to all be true, but I mentally abused myself for a year, where I was like, no, that woman, she's not lying to me, she's telling the truth. And then all right, and then you know, one day I learned that, yeah, she was sleeping with other guys, and I got photo evidence of it, and I was heartbroken. I was literally about to make the biggest mistake of my life, and that was to marry that woman, because she was on her last year of college, and I wanted to congratulate her in a big way. And then she, turns out it wasn't her last year of college. She stopped going, and she stopped going in 2015 on, you know, and you know, she stopped going in 2015 about halfway through, because she just was too busy living the party life. She was taking the money that I gave her to, you know, to drink, to buy things that money wasn't made for. That money that I gave her was for like groceries. Sure, you could buy a drink or two. Sure, like that's fine. I'm not gonna say no, you can't buy alcohol. Of course she can buy alcohol. She's an adult. You let her do that. Like, you know, just because I don't drink doesn't mean the person that I'm with doesn't have to drink. They can drink. They can do whatever they want. Like, as long as they don't cheat on me or, you know, use the shit out of me, which no one has ever done to me except for that one woman. And, you know, that's like all it took basically to break me. So then I spent basically all of 2016 miserable. I hated myself. I hated my life. I tried to do things that cheered me up, and it didn't work. Then I got in a fight with one of my best friends who we were playing like League or something, and I had tilted, and I started talking trash, and I pissed him off, and I felt really bad. So I think this was about when Evelyn came out, and Evelyn got like a new skin. Did Evelyn? Yeah, Evelyn Rework had come out, and he was playing a lot of her. So I to apologize to him, I gifted him the Evelyn skin because he didn't have much money, and I felt kind of bad. And then we watered under the bridge, and
How are you?
at that point I had broken up with her, and
Safe travels.
I had broken up with her and decided I wasn't going to talk to her for like a few days. And then, like, out of nowhere, like 2 weeks later, like messaged me and apologized. You know, I'm a very forgiving person, and I decided to let her back into my life to see if she could change. And it wasn't going to help her, but me being as helpful as I was back then, not so much now, I helped her. I helped her in more ways than one, more ways than I should have. I did some things I'm not proud of with her, and some things with another best friend of mine that I'm not proud of. And I shouldn't have done those things. Those things, didn't realize they were going to ruin me as they did. So throughout 2016, well, and then I also met who became later on in 2018. I've been saying 2018. I met one of my best friend's new friends, and ish, and she's this really sweet girl, and this is the girl that I love the most. and I'm gonna have to beat Stitch's ass. And I hurt this person like one too many times, and it hurts me. And every time I think about it, I almost like want to start crying because I still love that person, and I abuse that person like my ex before me abused me, and I abused her in that way too. Now, granted, I didn't like cheat on her. I just made her feel like shit. And that's what a mental abuse is. I made her feel bad. I made her pay for a bunch of shit she didn't need to pay for. And, you know, and it's like, you should always, if you have someone who's special to you, you should, you know, if they're coming to see you and they're going to spend a lot of money, you should definitely offer them to like split the bill. I should have done that, but I didn't. Because, I don't know, I was just in love. At the time, I just got laid off my job, or I was getting laid off my job, so I was trying to save as much money as possible to kind of to make sure I don't, you know, go broke by the end of the year. And I lost my job in like December, and I think that affected me too. But the thing I learned from that relationship with the last girl is that I'm not ready for a relationship. I never was ready. And the only reason why I jumped into a relationship with her, because I thought I was. And, you know, I was really happy with her. We were,
have a good one.
And we were doing things that I only normally do with someone who I'm a couple with, right? Someone who I can trust, someone who I can know that she's not gonna use me for, you know, use me like past girls have used me. And I the most important thing I learned is that I'm not mentally ready for like a relationship, but I need to, well, one, I need to be stronger, and two, I need to be physically more in shape, because I'm this fat blob, right? I want to lose weight and do a lot of stuff, and 2020 has just been such a shitty year. I'd like to try and make it better by the, that's the point of this stuff, and that's the point of all this stuff. And I recently got to talk to, you know, who that girl that I love very much, who I would do a lot for to get her back, is just as a friend, not like as like a girlfriend, because, you know, I'm not ready to date. No way in hell would I ever date again for a while. Just sucks. And I made some big dumb mistakes.
Hello.
And
See you around.
the girl isn't, you know, Fairlands. Oh, okay. Do I even have Prowl now? I think I do. No, I don't. That's so why that's a weird passive to get before you even get, anyways. I probably the
We've
without a
been
cause.
walled
Yeah.
up for far too long. Farewell.
All right. I'll leave that there.
Let the light of the new moon
I'm actually
guide
just
you.
go ahead and end this episode, right? Or no? Can't sit in the chair. Well, you know what? I'll make it up as I go. There we go. Well, no, I can do better. Yeah. So we're gonna just talk for a little bit while we sit here. But yeah, I learned a lot about myself this last year, and how I realized that I do have mental health issues, and I'm willing to be open about it to the internet, and go, this is more for myself, to see if I can actually push through something like, and have crippling it's not crippling and have huge amount of depression, a huge amount of mental issues I still suffer from, somebody who, and see if I can actually be stronger and push myself out of this dump that I'm in, and make myself feel better, and make people around me feel better. And yeah, and who knows, maybe I'll get my friend back, who I'd love to have back some. But that's for the future, and that could never happen. One of those things. But I'm gonna change, and I'm gonna try my best. Thank you for watching this episode. It's gonna be a little bit shorter because kind of teeter-totting on like busting out crying, and really want to do that. I'm gonna take a little break, come back with high spirits, and we're gonna do more leveling. Please check out my other videos. Please hit the subscribe button if you can. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye.